Hello everyone and welcome to my Adobe Premiere Pro tutorial. My name is TJ Style, and in this video I'm going to show you how can you work with transition effects inside Premiere. So basically you can find your transitions inside your FX panel, and if you're using the standard workspace of Premiere, then your FX panel is going to be located under this part. Okay, so it's going to be one of these panels, right? I just pulled out my FX over here so that I can see my project panel, and at the same time I can see my FX, my transitions, my source monitor, and my program monitor and my timeline. So I think this is a much better way of working with transitions inside Premiere. Now once you are in FX, you're going to be having this folder which says video transitions. Open it, and in this you're going to be having all these subfolders which basically are different categories of transitions. Now trust me on this one, friends, 90% of these transitions you won't be using in your work. There are only say around like 10%, 10 to 8% that you genuinely will be using a lot inside your project. So I most of the times work with these dissolve, right? And I work with these cross dissolve, dip to black, and dip to white. Dip to black basically is like an effect which makes your whole screen go black, and then it kind of fades from black. So it's a very interesting effect, and it is used all the time, right? It can be created without using this transition, but who would do all that animation when you can actually just do a drag and drop, right? So this is kind of good. It comes in handy. And then we have another really good one, an interesting one, that's a cross dissolve. So you basically take this and drop it onto an edit point. For those of you who do not know, an edit point is basically the place where two clips meet, right? So you take it and drop it onto an edit point, and now if you were to play this, you would see that you get a very interesting blend in your clip. Dip to white does the same thing. It just takes it, and I mean when you take it and drop it onto your clips, you would see that you from instead of going from going to black, you go to white, and then you fade from white. So this is also nice. It comes in handy. The next thing I would like to show you is using the keyboard shortcut. Now the keyboard shortcut is the Control D, and you would see if you hit Control D, nothing would really happen because you haven't selected your clips. So select your clips, and now if you hit Control D, you would see that Adobe Premiere Pro thinks that you want transitions basically everywhere. So it takes and applies transition to the start of the clip, right? It takes it and applies it to an edit point, and it even applies it to the end of the clip. So it basically applies it to the start of the selected clip, the edit point where two clips meet, and then at the end of your second clip. If you don't want that, so what you can do is you can actually select the edit point, and this is I think is new in Premiere Pro CC. You can select the edit point and hit Control D, and the transition would be applied only to that much part. So you basically are not getting any transition on the start or at the end, and this is kind of handy. If you have any audio, I'm going to look for some audio right now. I'm going to pause my video. Okay, so I'm back with some audio, and here we are with audio. Now you can see that I've actually cut these two audio tracks right at the place where I have cut my video tracks, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually group them together, right? So basically we have the audio and the video attached to each other, and I'm actually have muted the audio track, so you basically cannot hear anything. If you were to select all of these and press Control Shift D, right? Oh, I'm sorry. It's not going to work right now because I have this software on record. Yeah, thank you. So I basically have the software on record, but if you go to Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts, and if you type in transition, then you would see that you get some keyboard shortcuts. If you want to apply audio transitions, then you basically have to hold on Control Shift D, right? And that's going to apply the default transition for your audio. If you want to apply both of them together, say you are working with some sync media where you really want to work with the audio and with the video together, right? Then you can select both of them, right? Doing the marquee selection, and then hit Shift D. So that basically is going to take your default transition for the video and the default transition for the audio and apply them together. Yeah, one more thing I would like to show you is how to set your default transition. You can see right now at my dip to white, you can see that that it has this this golden color square running around it. That basically means that this is the default transition. If you do a right click on dip to black, then you can see that you get this option set as selected default transition, and if I was to select both of them, press Ctrl D, then you can see that now all of them have this dip to black applied. If I was to select the physical, I mean the edit point, then and if I was to change my my default transition and press Ctrl D, then I get this transition applied. You see that? So this is a quick way of working inside Premiere. Same thing goes for audio transitions. You have this crossfade, constant power. You can do the same thing, change the default transition if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. Constant power I think is good, so I would work with it. And now I'm going to firstly ungroup my clips, and I'm going to remove the audio because I really don't want to get into some copyright mess with YouTube, right? YouTube is something I would want to mess with. Just saying. Anyways, one more thing I would like to talk about is how to edit a transition inside Premiere. So we basically have this video clips, right? Once a transition has been applied, you can also change the duration of the transition. Say you want to quickly create a flash transition. So what you can do is you can firstly we're going to need firstly you're going to be needing the dip to white transition. Take it and drop it onto the what is this thing called? I forget it every time. The physical editing point, the edit point, I think. Yeah. You basically select this, right? And do a double click on this, and you will get a duration box. So if you want to quickly create a flash, so you have to go less than a second. You can see the default transition says a second. I would remove the second, put a 0 over there, and make it only 10 frames. And now you can see that the size of the transition really went low. Now if I was to play this, you can see you quickly get this flash thing, kind of like a visual effect, you can say, but it can be created very easily inside Premiere. Now you can actually edit the size of the transition or the duration of the transition right from your timeline. You can see that when I go at the end or at the start of my transition, my mouse pointer actually changes to this really weird icons, which basically is trying to tell me I can change the duration of my transition. You can see that transition symbol right at the center. So basically click and drag it to the left, and this time you will see that both the sides are gonna get scaled at the same time, and this really comes in handy. If you want to scale only one side, then you can hold on the shift key, and you can see that you can only now drag at one side and the other side won't be affected. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. You can see it won't get affected. So you can see you can basically create different visual effects using these transitions, and now it smoothly comes in. Really nice. So transitions are a great way of distracting your audience. Say for some reason you want to distract your audience, you want to say you are working with some media that is not perfectly short and you just have to work with it, then transitions are a great way. They are a great way to tell your audience that you have basically changed something. You want to hint your audience to something, then transitions are your thing. Okay, so thank you for watching my video. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you learned something today. Please subscribe to my channel, Tutorials for Graphics, and I will see you all next time. Take care, friends, and like my Facebook page. The link is gonna be in the description. Thank you for watching. Take care.